Even though we now have CGI and special effects, there are some visuals that, if you want as a filmmaker, you're just going to have to get them the hard way. But sometimes things can go terribly wrong, and people get really hurt. Here are several instances where on-set stunts went wrong. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Scream! The legendary 1996 slasher horror film Scream featured the director of A Nightmare on Elm Street, Wes Craven, bringing back the suffering subgenre for a second time. A clever taking apart of slasher cliches, this terrifying teen murder mystery paved the way for a lot of imitators and sequels. Sadly for some of our stars though, the horror part wasn't entirely restricted to the screen during the film's production. Future Riverdale actor Skeet Ulrich's then fresh heart surgery scar was ripped apart and opened by an unlikely misfired umbrella stab during shooting. A stunt expert made the unlucky accident while filming the movie's fight scene. The stab wouldn't have been that bad had it happened to another actor, but the presence of the scar that got reopened left Ulrich in a bad way and required the film crew to halt the shoot and take care of the wound. Die Hard. A lot of people would say there's no action movie that can come close to the iconic 1988's Die Hard. Of course, the film is also filled with exciting action stunts. Remember the suspenseful scene when our hero, John McClane, bounces off the wall of an air vent, almost falling down into the shaft underneath? You may find yourself wondering how John McTiernan managed such a natural bounce when John misses his aim. That came to be because of him accidentally doing it in real time. Bruce Willis's stuntman seriously missed his signal and went falling down the set's fake elevator shaft during the scene, which gave us the unpleasant impact seen on camera. It was too brilliant to take to not use in the final cut of the film. This is pretty much as real as it gets. Romancing the Stone. 1984 film Romancing the Stone is a great mix of easy watching rom-com and adventure. This can be credited to the undeniable chemistry between lead actors Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, as well as some very remarkable stunts from long before CGI came in and made things much easier and less dangerous. For example, the near-fatal shooting of the movie's once-in-a-lifetime waterfall scene. In the movie, our two lead roles are jumping out of a truck while it careens over the side of a waterfall. An experienced stuntman almost died during the extremely tricky sequence in which he and a colleague jumped from the truck to what seems to be safety as the truck went off the edge of that very real waterfall. What happened was the stuntman's board, which had to fling him to safety, malfunctioned and he fell into the actual whirlpool below. His co-worker was shocked upon entering the water, leaving him floating on the side. Luckily, he was able to go against the fast currents and swim ashore, saving himself while the latter was miraculously saved before he came to the waterfall's end. Blade Runner. Ridley Scott's glorious follow-up to Alien was an entirely different animal, taking the shape of the old Blade Runner. Eventually released in 1982, the film's production was troubled from the jump. The studios were baffled, test audiences too, and legendary sci-fi author Philip K. Dick's novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, proved difficult when translating to the big screen. However, even though the studio went from being unsure to straight up opposing the idea, the cast were dedicated and were going to make it work. See the career of the film's breakout star Daryl Hannah, who played the minor villain Pris with alarming adaptability to the role. While shooting one of the particularly intense chase scenes, she tripped while running from our movie's anti-hero, smashing her elbow as she went straight into a van window. The bone was totally shattered in 8 places and her arm still carries the scar, yet her commitment led to the take making it into the final cut. 7. We can't argue that Brad Pitt more than earned his cut during his work with obsessive perfectionist David Fincher. Even though the director's notorious thing happens to be infinite retakes, it seems that Fincher is alright with improvisation when it comes to the well-being of his workers. Now it makes sense why he told Edward Norton to punch Brad in the ear instead of where the actors had previously come to a consensus on, in order to extract a more real reaction during the production of Fight Club. It's not possible that maybe he just wanted revenge for what Pitt put the production crew of 7 through when he hurt himself during shooting. The cast that his character is wearing throughout the film, he got it for real when he shoved his arm into a window while shooting a particularly intense sequence. The scene was being shot soon in production, and they all witnessed Pitt split his hand open, shattering a bone in the meantime and mandating the cast for the rest of filming. Even the easy stunts get you sometimes. Ghostland. Martyrs director Pascal Laugier is well acquainted with notoriety. The director's 2008 new French extremity horror questioned the limits of gore on the big screen, managing to horrify audiences after movies like Eli Roth's Hostel had left horror fans shocked, amused, and wanting more. But this director went way ahead of that when he let a pretty serious accident actually happen on the set of his big box office flop, Ghostland. This flop from 2016 led to one of its main actors being permanently scarred because she went into a glass window that broke when she jumped on it for a scene. When the glass actually broke for real, there weren't any precautionary measures instilled to prevent her from falling in the broken glass, and so Taylor Hickson ended up with permanent scars on her face. The actor then obviously took action against the crew for such fatal carelessness and proceeded to sue the team, saying that her blooming career was literally over because of the life-changing injury in a terrible accident. We would have done the same thing in her place. G.I. Joe. If you've ever found yourself thinking about whether female action stars have any difficulty pulling off risky stunts while wearing suffocating bodysuits, G.I. Joe star Sienna Miller could tell you more. The actor played supervillainous Baroness and was amazing in the role, nailing the exaggerated tone of this action blockbuster. However, her time spent with the film's production was riddled with incidents, as she hurt her wrist before the production even began by tripping on a rubber bullet when practicing one of the trickier scenes. As if that weren't bad enough, the actor's iconic outfit almost caused her an unfortunate wound when an explosion nearly burned her chest. The outfit was set ablaze during filming because they underestimated the impact of an explosion, leaving Miller literally on fire for a bit. Fortunately, they put the fire out, and she later told worried fans at a press conference that luckily it wasn't my breasts, it was the bit in between. It got a bit burned. The Passion of the Christ. Some of the stunts which went awry in this countdown left actors mostly okay, while others only saw their stunt doubles being hurt and smartly saved the actors from partaking in dangerous tricks totally. This is the exception to that though. In Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, the actor cast as Jesus, Jim Caviezel, suffered two really deep wounds when the pretend whipping somehow turned into real whipping during the torture scenes, and then he was also hit by lightning during the shoot. The first one, yeah, but he'd probably have a hard time pinning the lightning to the film crew. Seems like really bad luck, plain and simple. The unlucky guy was dealt a couple of 14-inch cuts when a prop flogger literally sliced open the skin on his back, and this happened not once but twice due to the impossibly realistic duration of the film's whipping scene. On the other hand, the lightning incident happened when the actor was dragging a wooden cross uphill in what was hopefully just a very big safety hazard and not a sign of anger from up above. Alec Baldwin incident. This is arguably the most tragic incident on our list. A cinematographer was killed and a director was hurt on set during shooting when veteran actor Alec Baldwin fired what were supposed to be blanks inside a gun while shooting a movie. The district attorney is looking at all parties involved so far. No one has ruled out when investigating and getting to the bottom of who's responsible for this incident. The film's crew was under the impression that the gun contained no live rounds at the time the assistant director gave it to Baldwin, because obviously you don't bring real firearms on a set for any reason. The actor was rehearsing with the gun and aiming it when it went off, killing cinematographer Halyna Hutchins and badly hurting director Joel Souza. That's it for today. Leave a comment down below and let us know which of these stunts gone wrong you think was the worst. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, bye.